Guys, welcome back. Today's gonna be great because I'll be honest with you, I haven't really done this technique in a long time. You can now purchase a NFT one-of-one, own the artwork of the Sound Design Hangout history. I make all of the art, so you would not only be supporting the Sound Design Hangout, but also an artist and own really cool art and possibly your first ever NFT. You hear a lot about 808s and you hear about like 808 bass, you know what I mean? And it's really funny because the 808, as you know, is a drum kit. There's also the 909, the 707, and those were like classic drum kits by Roland. So we're going to take a 909 sample and probably an 808 as well, just for perspective, and we're gonna have that be one of our kick drums. We're gonna have like a short kick drum, which is really just gonna be the 909 kick, and then a longer one, which will be the 909 that will hit, and it'll be that like punchy kick drum of the 909, but we can hold it down and play up the scale and get like a sustained, really good bass tone that will play together with it. And it combines a sampling technique. Like, remember when we make like synthesizer sounds with sampler and we like zoom in on a very small loop? That's like the same thing. And to be honest with you, I've never really, like, I think I might have done this before, but I was surprised when I got the idea just driving around listening to music. It's when I like get my ideas and in meditation. But yeah, I gotta throw that in there, right? But this is gonna be great. And if you didn't know this and if you haven't seen this before, you're really gonna like it. So if we come into this search bar up here, and actually I'm gonna insert a MIDI track, and I'm gonna push Command Option I to hide this panel. It's got a MIDI track so we can drop, not drum synth, we wanna drop drum rack. And I'm gonna record enable it, and I'm playing on my laptop. That's how I'm like launching samples. So this first one, this kick drum, if I were you and you're like playing like a traditional beat pad, you know, kind of like a 4x4 gridded pad, I would drop your samples on here, specifically the kick drum probably on C1, but when I click my lowest note, which is this using my keyboard, which I'm able to do because I selected this button up here, I have to go up here and drop it here on C3. So that's just why I'm deciding to put it there, C3. You might want to drop it on C1, but I'm gonna do it this way. Just thought I'd mention that. So I'm gonna click on samples here, and I'm gonna go up to this search bar, and I'm gonna type 909, and then kick. Now, I'm pretty sure no matter what version of Ableton you have, you're gonna have 808 and 909 drum samples. And if you don't, I guarantee you there's like free downloads online. So I want a 909 kick. The reason why is because, and we're gonna be building this drum rack and then we're gonna make a beat with it, you know, because I want this, what I wanna show you is this cool technique to turn a 909, 808, 707 into basically have its own customed punch and tails that you can play all up and down whatever octave range you want to, which is really cool. But why stop there, you know? So I want to start with here because a lot of times when we do start with drums, it's good to have like a go-to rack. For a long time for me, it was like the 808 or the 909 rack that I would go to. You know, even if I replaced all the drums later, it's kind of good to have a go-to. An 808 909, as you know, is like an electronic drum kit. So like it's, you know, like a drum machine, the samples that came with it, it's dry sounds, you might want to do processing with them. If you're not going to be doing like an electronic drum kit like that, which there's millions come with Ableton, you can then have more acoustic drum kits, which sound really lame, like a lame or like a regular acoustic drum kit that like a drummer in a rock band plays. And I'm not saying it's lame, I mean like the dry sounds sound lame, so you'll want to take that kit and you'll want to process it with drum bus and some other things to really beef it up, give it some cohesion, get the levels right. But we're not going to do that today. We are going to be looking for some more electronic samples, and so the 909 kick is a really nice kick. And you probably have multiple, so just sort of like go through and get one that sounds kind of like you want it. Like I like this. This one sounds really nice and punchy. And I'm going to, so I have to play this C3 because that's where it's here. Sounds really good, doesn't it? Why does it sound so good? Well, it sounds so good because it has all the elements we want. It's subby, you know, because obviously we want boo, boo. It's punchy, and it even has a little click at the beginning. So it's 3 components, which makes it good. And then because it's just this dry sample, we can put a reverb on it to give it more of a sense of space later, if that's something you want to do, before someone says, "You should never put reverb on a kick drum. How dare you? How could you? Why would you speak such blasphemous words?" It's like, first of all, if you're going to be that dogmatic when it comes to sound design, well then you're probably not very creative and not having a lot of fun. Okay, I'm just joking. It's all love here on the podcast. Anyways, what you can do is there's a pre-delay on reverb, which says when will the reverb actually start, so you can take it off the transient. Also, you can sculpt the lows out of the reverb, so you're only getting the punchy parts. And the high parts reverberated. And when you've got reverb on all the different drum elements, it makes it sound. So for instance, we got these electronic drum samples. They don't have any acoustical information. Like they came from synthesizers, you know what I mean? And so when we put them in an acoustic space, and I like to maybe be a little bit more, I like to add a lot of that because it gives it like a space, like, oh, like they're in this, like they were performed in this room or something, or this cathedral or this hall. So we've got this kick drum here, and first thing we're gonna do is, actually I'm gonna right click on this bar and go to sampler, just because I would rather use sampler. It's more robust for sound design. Take a look at this waveform, okay? So like, notice how this like sine wave gets longer. The longer the sine wave is the more like bassier and lower frequency it is. The faster it is, like the higher the pitch is, but also like the punchier bit. So like this tail is probably somewhere in like 40 to 50 hertz subby. This little punch right here, this area is probably like double that, like 100 hertz. And then this very high one is even a higher frequency. It's very short. That's going to be that click. That's why the 909 just sounds so good. It cuts through the mix, and it's subby. And so, for instance, this says, where do we want this to start? Now, this is right here at the 0 crossing right here. Maybe not quite perfect. Maybe it is. And so we get this wonderful sound. But listen to when we like change this playhead. You have to turn snap off down here. See how it goes away? It's like more muffled. And see how like if we start it here at the top, it's got a clip. When you're at a 0 crossing like this, it's that makes it all like smooth and whatnot. See? But as soon as you start deviating, it starts adding more like a resonance because it's not starting at a 0 crossing. And that just, so you might want to just leave it as it is. This has been like perfectly cut. In fact, I'll actually move it in a little bit right here. And if you didn't want that, if you didn't want this punchiness, you don't want it that punchy, you can just move it in here. And listen to that. This is the punch. This is like the sub area. And then that's like the clicky part. Someone said good kick drums aren't found, they're created. Well, that was true years ago. Now there's just good ones everywhere. 909 was always good. This was made in a synthesizer, and they probably just individually made all the different parts and like spliced it together. But in any event, that's not what we're here for. I want to be able to hit this note. And actually, I'm going to drag this off for a second and bring it back. Let's see. Because I want to show you something Okay, I want to make sure I've got my limiter on this track. We're going to go back. I want to make sure if we're still here. Are we still here? No, we dragged it off. So, okay, I'm recording here, and I'm going to drop a limiter here, catch any peaks. And when we look at this waveform, it's going to play all the way through, okay? If you don't have any release, it's going to stop, okay? So we're going to give it a little bit of a release. But what I want to do is I want to be able to put it on max quickly just to see where we're at. So it's right here at like 50 hertz. Now I want this to be able to play for as long as I want. As you know, I like those long sustained sounds. So I want to loop a portion of this. And I don't know what I'm going to, I don't know what portion I'm going to loop. Obviously the longer you do it, so I want this to, so we have to click a sustain mode. But I don't want it to be there. I want to take in the loop start, and I want to bring this in here. So I get something like that. I'm going to take down the release a little bit for now. So let's isolate. Now I want to try to make them start and stop on a zero crossing. So this might be too long. Let's see what this sounds like. That's too much. Because it's giving that a little bit. See what happens when we move it in. Now that sounds good if you want to like extra bright, but this just makes it extra smooth. Maybe we want it extra smooth. So let's put it back on the regular mode. Even if you hold it down, it's just going to launch it, but wait till we do sustain. Cool. But now let's move it in more. I want to make it smooth. I know I could keep it up here at the top, and that's fine, but I want to see like, I want to like keep it kind of like smooth like. So I'm using my ears. I mean, obviously I can use this line right here, because I want it to be like really defined. So listen without. Now what we could do is we could say, well, let's move it in. Someone's saying, oh, I love it. Now, maybe that's too high. Let's... No. And again, if you're not able to make those fine adjustments, turn snap off. So there you go. And listen like how you don't lose anything. Hold on, wrong one. How crazy is that? How wonderful is that? And you still can go into filter, put on a filter drive. You know, you can take that down, put a filter envelope on it. Adjust the decay. Give it a little release. Then you can play it. Let's turn that off. So you can do whatever you want with that. No. Let's move this down here. I want it like, that's like too like synthy sounding. There we go. I like that a little bit more. That just sounds cool, but I want it like tighter. So like, see this hump right here? So this is just punch. This is what we call punch. Now, Now you could print that out and put it back into sampler and then do more processing. There's a lot of cool tricks. So yeah, we can, so like when I heard 808 bass, I was like, because like there was, I mean, you guys have to understand, like, you know, the only reason why I'm able to make these tutorials is because I literally did nonstop Ableton YouTube tutorials like for years, like back in the 2010s. And there would be so many videos like make a massive 808 bass. And I would be like, but I know all the 808 drum samples and there's the 808 kick, which is a great sounding, powerful kick, but like, it's not like, and so a lot of these tutorials would show how to make this like, you know what I mean, sound. And I'd be like, well, that's not like an 808. And so I surmise that the only way you actually really did do it is if you came into here and you chucked it in a sampler and you were able to, you know, get that bass in here like that. So we can do that with anything. We can do that with the 808, which I know some of you probably want to see. But before I do that, I'm going to click on here, go into here, and I'm going to Command X, and then I'm going to paste that in. And it didn't work. Didn't work. I think I have to command or hold, drag, throw it in. Now if you say, hey chunky, I don't know if you can see little chunky, don't do anything crazy. You're like, you're underneath 3 cables right now, so don't try to jump up here and knock all the cables out. But if you guys notice, since I threw in this drum rack because I want to be able to like open it up and like draw in a pattern, like let's do like a basic 4 on the floor pattern. As you know, when you've got a bar, this is 1 bar long, and it's 4/4. So in common time, you're gonna have the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. A kick on the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. That's the boom, boom, boom. You know, 4 on the floor as it's called. Here's how it is, and then we can start like tweaking the kick. I think we need more release. Go to voices and make it mono. So like you don't get multiple ones in there. That's a volume envelope. I'd rather just leave it up. You can do other things too, like get this oscillator going. And this won't do anything until you give it a volume amount. Someone's like, hey, it just soiled me britches. But listen what happens when you turn the course up. So you can get a nice little punch, but take the decay in more, because the click, now turn off oscillator. So you got that bass, and you can put the filter back. I mean, like, listen to that. And you're not even like peaking yet. So that's like all you, so like, that's what sound design is about, my friends. Rather than like search for stuff, like how good does that sound? Let's get to, see what it sounds like there. Oh, that really hurt my ears. So then what we can do, because we got this here, I'll turn off the filter for a little bit. What the hell? Did you hear that? I don't know why clicking it like that is making this oscillator become more pronounced. I don't know why. That's weird because I'm just hitting like my trackpad. So what might you want to do? Well, let's just get this regular kick 909 back. I hear this a lot in like a lot of hip hop that I listen to. Is like I would hear that big kick bass combo, but in the middle you might just hear a punch like boop, 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 and then boom. So you've got both of those. So what do? I don't know. Let's go find it again. 909 kick. There we are. So I got this here. So now we can do something like this. I'm going to delete these. I'll put the big sub. Oh, we should probably rename. Shift tab to go back into here. I'm going to call this .909 long kick, 909 punch kick. I think that's too much. So let's take a listen to this. So first of all, if you click this little headphone icon, you can play these. So this is the short kick. So let's do something like, let's make this 2 bars. By the way, you're always going to probably want to keep it in 16th notes when you, so let's do something like this. Let's like play it. You can make them be like part of the same choke group. I don't know if that will be cool. And in fact, maybe you might want to do that. So like it's, if you guys know about these choke groups, choke, let's put it on lucky number 13. Here it's cutting it out when one plays the other one, it'll like cut it out. So that's just some like cool things to think about. By the way, if you thought that was an amazing, really cool technique, and you weren't already in it, then you should consider liking, subscribing, turning on notifications, consider supporting me, buying one of my NFTs, which is my own original artwork. It's tied in with the show. It's the thumbnails. You know they're pretty breathtaking and brilliant. In fact, one would suggest that a very good artist should be compensated for his works. And so you would be doing multiple things, supporting the SDHO, supporting an artist, supporting this great stuff. Guys, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I've been obsessed with Ableton, and I'm giving you all the shortcuts, all the cheats, all the jump cuts. So if you would like to support me, you know how to do it. So let's move on. So we got like kicks, and I want to get a snare. The 808 snare is just like one of the best things ever. So let's get the snare. We're going to do some very easy snare processing. Now I want like a regular, I don't want one that's processed. I don't want any of these that are processed. I want just the basic snare 808. No, that one had a lot of reverb. That's not right. Yeah, this will have to do. So we've got our snare here. I don't need this input-output channel, so I'm going to close it down. Anytime you drag in a sample, you might want to zoom in. And where are we playing this? Where are we playing this? It just sounds great. Now, because it sounds so great, and again, I'd rather just be in sampler because I've got more tools. I don't need to loop anything. If for whatever reason the snare doesn't sound good enough, you can just go into filter, add some filter drive, or just add any sort of distortion in Ableton. But it's pretty maxed as it is. I'm gonna throw, wait, why am I not getting sound right now? Look, I'm clicking it and I'm clicking my thing. What just happened? Why would this not be playing? Did I click something on I/O? It's weird, you know what I mean? It's like playing, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like there's no reason. So, okay, snare 808. Maybe that one was like haunted or something. Okay, this one sounds good. And of course, it's like puffed up. Yeah, see, it's really good. So I don't really need to do much to it. You know, I mean, it's just good. I think I will go in and just make sure that this releases up all the way. A little bit of volume velocity, that's good if I want to have some play louder than others. In fact, I should probably make sure these ones have some of that. Simpler sampler, filter global, where is it? Velocity right here, that's fine. Same thing with this, okay, good. Right here, filter. But I want all of that. I'm gonna actually put it on this one. Just so we cut out some of these lows right here. Might as well give it a little filter drive, but might want to take this down a little bit. A little bit of reverb on it would be good, just a little bit, because you got to have a lot of reverb on the snare. Maybe bring the size down. I don't even need it. I think there already is like a reverb. Oh, actually, no, Command Z. It did give me something a little extra. That's fine. We don't have to be... Okay. So I'm good with that. Like, there's really nothing I need to do. Nothing at all. Like, it already sounds good. I was going to make like a really lame snare and like ding. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's add a lame snare. So you know how I like 909? 909's got a great kick. 808 has got a great kick. 808's got a great snare. 909's snare kind of sucks. Maybe you don't think so. I do, and that's okay. So it's like very like white noisy, like 909 snare. Where is just the regular 909 snare? See, like all these? Well, they all suck, all of these. I don't know if you can't hear them. They all suck. And so I'll show you how you can make one that sucks and turn it better. There should just be a generic 909 snare. I might actually... Here, let's go to all results. Yeah, see all these tune? Yeah, these aren't regular ones. I don't know why. I'll have to... okay. Okay, this is kind of what a 909 sounds like. It's pretty awful. Like, this is like the 808 straight out the gate. But this is the 909 snare. First of all, it's too... I need to... Again, sampler... What I want to do is I want to, so for instance, the 808's really good. I put it in there because I'd like to use it because I think it's just one of the best electronic snare samples that's there. I wanted to show you how you can process these drums. Now, I wanted to drag in the 909 snare because it sounds awful in my opinion, and so I want to show you what I would do if I was needing to process a snare. So the first thing is I'm going to look at the volume envelope. Right now, it's just all the way up. Let's take it down because that like yeah 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 like that shh 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 like that thing, hate it. So like look. But then we're kind of getting rid of some of the body. I just don't want like too much of that like overhang. Okay. Now let's, now I want to beef it up big time. How do you beef something up very big, especially snares? This is overdrive on the snares. With. But now I need more of like a tail or something. So let's go to the high reverb. Not there. We put it there, everything gets processed. See, I told you kicks and snare, kicks with reverb sounds good. Ready? Give me the hybrid reverb. Sounds a lot cooler, right? Sounds like we're in some like frozen warehouse or something. That's a 909. And you don't need all this. It's lower. See, that's why I love the hybrid reverb, but we don't want it for that yet. I want it for this. So I put it on the wrong one. I put it on the 808 or the 808 snare. So take the reverb, Command X. Wait, no, Command Z. No, that was the one we wanted. We wanted this hybrid reverb. Command X. Go to the snare 909. Click this overdrive, and now we got it. But nope. But we want it after the overdrive. I don't mind that there because I don't mind it getting beefed up. Let's take the highs out, see what we get. Now let's play with the overdrive. We should probably do it while we play it. Play. Let's start over. Let's play. Now let's do this one, do that. Nah, let's just... I like I went right into that one. Give me a ramp. How do you draw that ramp? No. Is it, what is it? Did they get rid of that feature? You get like a little like ramp or something? I like that. I almost want a sound of that. Whoa. Okay, now let's take this hybrid reverb and let's option click it out here and paint everything in it. Ready? Go. Samples, 808 hot. Do all samples, all results. Seriously, that's... Boy, these sound like nothing. All right, screw that. I just want a hat. Ugh, what even is that? Awful, awful, awful. No, I want just samples. I don't want, like... Boy, that's really loud. Yeah, these are just so bad. That's why you don't want to just go searching through. I'm going to go close hat. Yeah, nothing is... Oh, okay, it's closed. Okay, these are all really bad. So now I realize that's because I need to process it for you guys. Okay, go back to 808 hat. Okay, I'll put 2 in here because they sound like just pathetic. Like there's nothing going on. All right, let's, one thing you can do is you can alternate between like similar sounding hi-hats. I'm going to put this one first. And I'm going to duplicate it and put it up. Let's see what this sounds like. Now, I love the sound of those drums. Yes, there are a lot of reverb on it, and I like that. So that's what that's what I do. Now, keep in mind that all of this pattern sounds really good, and I didn't do any velocity manipulation, and I didn't even tweak the space. You know, I didn't go and take the snares and move them back, and then take every other kick drum and every other snare or hi-hat and then move it a little bit off beat, and you know what I mean? You can definitely do that, but like you can definitely get good playing patterns without doing that. Like sometimes it's just, if it just sounds good, like you just vibe with it. So there was something I wanted to do that I thought was very important. So we've got these hi-hats, and I'm going to call this hat 1 normal. I'm going to call this hat 2 normal, and I want to do something kind of fun and goofy. Well, I guess it's not really goofy, but so I'm going to option drag this up to this next range. I guess I could just keep them in here. It doesn't really matter. I just don't know how many times I'm going to do this, and I don't want to keep jumping around. So I've got this hat normal, and I'm going to go into our, this is just a cool thing to close it out. I'm going to go into the arpeggiator, and I'm going to put it on 16th notes. I'm just going to put a 16 here, and then I'm going... Okay, we got cut off. How about that? It just stopped recording. It was like, you're done. But I was like, no. See what we got? And let's, I went to Appreciator and I pushed Command C. And yeah, I don't know why it did that. So we've got 16ths now. And here's what we're going to do with this. Rather than having to like draw on the 16ths because we're lazy, we're going to like go in here and check this out now. Like, so these are the 16th ones. I'm gonna turn this off. it sounding like that? I missed it. Wow, that was nice. First I was nervous because I was like, oh my God, I think I forgot how to make good sounds with Wavetable. This is going to be a disaster. And then I was like, no, you just keep going and eventually it just sounds good. So why did I do this with you? Don't worry, Chonky, we'll be done. It's super Arctic cold and he hasn't been able to go out to the bathroom. Well, he did go potty, but he hasn't pooped in a long time. So this either means I want food or I need to go out, and it means that he wants food. He wants his kibi. That's what he wants. But it's like, I can't keep getting you kibi because you haven't pooed in a long time, buddy. All right, so what can we do with this? Well, I think you know. So let's Command Option I, Put this on auto. I don't think anything else will... yes. Repitch. Like that. I love that. By the way, that's when I changed the delay, because it's at that repitch, or that like pitch setting. It just sounds so much better at that speed.